Hi everybody, welcome. If you are watching this video, it is because you are probably on the very start of your SEINT adventure with me. In case you need a little reminder, I am your SEINT artist, Maria Perbelski. I have been an artist since June of 2020, and man, has this just been an exciting ride for me. Being able to share this makeup with wonderful women such as yourself, and just share the love and growth within this community has been amazing. So today, what I have in store is, what do I do when I first get my makeup? How do I apply it the easiest way when I am learning something so new? So I'm going to take you through step by step on some of the important things as far as putting on your SEINT makeup goes. Some add-ons which you may have, so that way you have a great idea of the process and the steps that we go through when we apply our makeup. So let's get started right away. I am going to start off with my Stay Spray and my Perfector sponge. My Perfector sponge is already damp, okay, so it's nice and fluffy. I'm going to take my Stay Spray and apply it right onto my Perfector sponge. And I'm going to come and apply it onto my face. I like to dab it all over, but especially in those areas where I may have any fine lines, wrinkles, smile lines. That's where it's going to help your makeup stick and stay on even longer. We're going to put this off to the side. I like to use this at the end as well, so keep it handy, okay? Now let's get right in to our compacts. The other item I may have suggested to you is our lip conditioner. And that's always something that I like to apply on right away in the beginning as well, okay? Just like our primer, it is going to help plumpen our lips and it's going to hydrate them. So when it's time to put on that lip and cheek color, it's just gonna glide on so much easier and you're gonna need less product too. All right, next up. If you are using any type of color corrector, some women do, this would be the time where you would apply it. So I will give you an example. This is Mango right here, which I use for my under eye. I am just going to gently come in, tap into my color corrector and apply it only in those areas where it's needing it. So for example, here, using Mango, I'm using it on the areas where I have a little bit more blue or purple undertone around my eye. The other time that you may be using a color corrector is if you have rosacea on your skin, or if you have any acne or blemishes that you're looking to cover. There you would be using that Aspen Contour color and applying it on just the same way that I did. So it's only on those areas of color that you are trying to correct, and it's just a small little bit that you are putting on prior to doing the rest of our makeup. So now we're ready to go, okay? We're gonna start with our three main colors, and now there's either going to be your 3D brush. Most women, I either suggest coming with the 3D brush or pairing these two together, which is the blush and bronzer and the detail brush. I am going to show you how I pair these two together for this video. However, if you have the 3D brush, you can do the exact same things, using the fluffy end here for your highlights and using this smaller end here for your brightening, maybe coming into those corners or crevices. And then you can also use this for your contour as well. So I'm going to show you these two brushes and how I pair these two together. So let's get started. I'm going to take my detail brush and start out with this first. Let's come right into our Brightening Highlight color. I'm going to dab the smaller end of my detail brush into my brightening color and gently apply it to the inside part of my eye and then the outside. For me, I like to take that brightening color and pull it out here. I have temples that are starting to droop in. With age, we might see that. So I don't want to apply any extra shadowing in this area, but I actually want to brighten that up. So for me, I like to pull that all the way back. If you aren't worried about that, I would come in a little bit in the corner there And then you can just stop right here. I'm gonna pull it all back so I'm even on both ends. And now we're gonna let this sit and we're gonna let it warm up on our skins. Any excess that you have, I do like to pull it down the center of my face. We're bringing the shadows to the outside and we're always trying to brighten down the center. So any excess, I just wipe and pull down the center of my face like that. Now I'm gonna flip on over to the more flat end of my detail brush. This is made specifically for contours, so it's fantastic. I'm gonna come into my contour color and I'm just gonna come on the edge of my brush. Okay, you can see where it's a little darker. From here, this is where I'm gonna start to apply by my cheekbone. So there's a couple ways you can do this. You can find the tip of your ear to the outside of your eye and create that angle. You could take your fingers, push to find out where your cheekbone is. For me, my cheekbone is right here, so I want to place it right on top. Or by using your detail brush like this, you can easily push that contour right into that cheekbone, and your own bone structure is going to do the work for you. Okay, let's do the opposite side too. Again, I like to use the angle of my brush so that way when I put my contour on, it's a nice smaller line, so it's not too thick. I'm gonna let this hang out here and let it warm up. Now I'll come in with the flat end of my detail brush and let's add some shape up by our hairline. For me, I like to come just right up into this area and kind of stop on the outsides of my eyes. Again, I like to keep this area brighter, so I stop my contour here where I'm going to create that dimension. If you have any excess makeup, I like to come in around my jawline here. Again, areas where you may create more shadow, making a more defined look. And I just use up the excess of my makeup right around my jawline. Now I am going to flip on over to my blush and bronzer brush. So again, if you are using your 3D brush, you can just keep rolling with this one. I like to then come in with my blush and bronzer and use this smaller end here for my main highlight. With my main highlight, I like to start at the bottom, anywhere that a man would have a beard and a mustache, and start stippling that color right into the areas where there isn't any makeup currently. Stippling it onto your skin, which is just a fancy word for dabbing it, is gonna help that makeup sit even more if you have any acne scarring, wrinkles, fine lines. If you have any blemishes as well, coming in and stippling it or dabbing it onto your skin is going to help get into the crevices, therefore giving you better coverage in those areas. I'm going to take a little bit too and pull it down my neck. So I'm combining that contour that I had placed and pulling just a tad down, so that way if you do have an open shirt, it starts to blend in with our chest. Usually our chests are a little warmer than our face and neck. All right, I'm gonna dab right back in, and I'm gonna come into the area where there would be a mustache on a man. And now I'm gonna come back towards the top of my forehead and start filling in that section where I didn't apply any makeup first. If you get a little bit in your eyebrows, that is okay. I'm gonna show you at the end what I always do to make sure I get that excess makeup out. Fix the hair. Okay, and now I'm just gonna pull. I had a little bit of that brightening color down the center of my nose, so now I'm just blending the two together. And now that our makeup is nice and warm around our eye, we are going to gently blend out that brightening color around our eye. I also like to be able to take any of that excess and put it right on my eyelid. If you're doing your eyeshadows later, that way you already have a primer and you don't need another item in your makeup bag. So again, super gentle when it comes to around your eyes. As we age, the elasticity around this area tends to go. So the more gentle you want to be, so you are not breaking that skin and you're not pulling and creating that extra fine lines and wrinkles around our eyes, right? So we just want to be super gentle, and any excess, just make sure we are all the way blended through. Now for me, I like to come back to my detail brush with our contour nice and warm. Now we're going to blend. So I like to come in with a nice flat end, and now I'm going to come and I'm going to lift. We are always blending our contour up. We're always trying to create lift in our face. If there's excess, you wanted it a little bit more blended out, then just start to pull it back into your hairline. But otherwise, always pull up and out. And for my contour, I like to stop around this outside part of my eye so I'm not coming too far in with that contour. Okay, now let's come to the opposite side. Again, pulling that contour up. And if you need to blend some of that color away, pull it out into that hairline. Again, don't be scared of contours. All of our makeup is cream, so it makes it super blendable. Now with our contour color on our forehead, we are pulling it back into our hairline. So again, we are lifting and pulling it back, and it's blending so beautifully with the rest of our main highlight color. So now we're creating that dimension on our face and bringing that shape back in using that contour, which is an ashy undertone. So it's creating that dimension and it's bringing that shape back into our face, which most of the time we may lose when using a normal foundation. If you want to add a nice little trick, you could come in with the edge of your detail brush. If you want to give the illusion of a more elongated or skinnier nose, you could also put a little bit of that contour down the sides of your nose. Just blend it like so. And then the other trick that I love is taking that brush again and just adding a little bit of that contour around our lips. And you can see that shadow is already starting to create that illusion of a fuller lip. And I'm just going to take a little bit above my lip as well. If you want to be more precise, you could definitely come in with your multitasker brush at this point. You could even use your line brush or even the dense end of your eyeshadow brush. Either way, you're going to get the same results just by using a little bit of that contour and blending it around your lips. All right, now we're going to come in with a lip and cheek color. I like using my detail brush. You could definitely use any end that you prefer. For your for your lip and cheek color, I like to put it right on top of the contour. That's why I like coming in with my detail brush, because I can really make that defined area where I want my color. When I put my color on top of my contour, it actually provides a little bit more lift. So you can see we're always trying to lift. Put a little bit here. If you are one where you like to have a little bit more color in your cheek, you could add more in the apples of your cheek as well. Definitely don't be afraid to play around. If you ever have questions, make sure when you are part of the VIP group that you go into that search function at the top of the page. If you have any questions, let's say your lip and cheek placement or contour placement based off the shape of your face, plug that in, let's say contour shape, and it's gonna pull back all the information that I have on contour placement, lip and cheek placement, because it's so different on every single woman. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Now I'm just coming in with that lip and cheek color and filling in the rest of my lips here. Again, this is Plum, one of my absolute favorites. Goes nicely with my sweater today, not gonna lie. So, right now we are finished, right? We did our 4 main colors. We did our brightening, main, contour, and then we added in that lip and cheek color to bring a little bit more color into our skin. So I want to show you a couple add-ons that you may have put into your basket and you may have received. One of them, very popular, right here is going to be bronzer. So if you had a bronzer, this is the point where you would probably add it on. I like to come in with my blush and bronzer, the big fluffy end. For me, I like using the big fluffy end here because it's a little bit more natural. So when you put on a bronzer, think of it anywhere the sun would kiss your face. So typically we get a little extra glow in our cheeks and forehead, maybe a little bit down the center of our nose. And then also if you need some help as far as making sure that your face color matches your chest, this is a great opportunity to use your bronzer to put a little bit of extra warmth into your skin and your neck area. So with the big fluffy end, I just dab a little bit. Let me just set this compact down here so I can pull my hair and just lightly stipple that bronzer on. Again, those areas where the sun would hit your face. So for me, it's that cheekbone area right here, little on the forehead. I like to bring a little bit extra warmth down the center of my nose. And then if you do need to blend in your neck, you could add a little bit there too. All right, like I said, our line brush is amazing for working on your eyebrows. I always suggest taking that spoolie end when you are done and coming and brushing through your eyebrows. Get any of that excess makeup out. And it's amazing the difference that it makes. If you want to fill in your eyebrows, you could always use the opposite angled end and your contour color to fill in your brows using little hairline strokes. Okay, so again, this is the line brush. So what I want to do is I want to come back to my Perfector sponge along with my Stay Spray, applying it on. And now I like to dab or gently bounce that Perfector sponge on my skin. 2 things it's doing. The Perfector sponge in itself, it's going to remove any excess makeup from our face. So anywhere we might have lines, fine lines, smile lines, any type of lines, places where we have movement on our face, it's going to pick up any excess makeup so there is no creasing. Oops. And then also what it does is the Stay Spray is going to help your makeup last even longer throughout the day. So pairing those 2 together is an excellent way to both prime your makeup and set it so it lasts even longer. Okay, a couple other items that I wanted to make sure that I showed you. If you purchase an illuminator, now is when I would like to come in with that illuminator. I personally like to use the pad of my finger here. You can see right here just how much glow. I like to put it right up above contour, lip and cheek color, then illuminator. And it's just a little bit of extra glam. If you want, you could use it as an eyeshadow. It is a cream. Or if you just want to put a little bit underneath your brow bone, like so, it just adds a little bit of extra sparkle. You could even take it down the center of your nose. You could put it in your Cupid's bow, or a lot of women too love pairing it with their lip and cheek color. Putting a little in the center of their lips creates more that ombre look. So we go darker to brighter, just like what we did with our face. Then finally, if you purchased our Vanilla Dust setting powder, this would be the part where you would come in. I like to use the smaller end of my blush and bronzer. You're going to dab into that Vanilla Dust setting powder And anywhere where you want more of that matte finish, or if you tend to get oily skin in that T-zone, you could come through with your vanilla dust setting powder. I always recommend use that perfector sponge with your stay spray first, then come in with your setting powder last. We always like to do our powders last because that's what's going to give that more of that matte finish, right? So there you have it. Anywhere from just those 4 tins, maybe you added on some of these beautiful details. And if you added on some eyes, make sure in the VIP group you punch in eyeshadows. I have so many different tutorials for different eyeshadow looks and different eyeshadow techniques that you can check out. So at any point, if you have questions, reach out to me. I love this part of my quote unquote job, is helping women with their makeup feel more confident, get out the door in 5 minutes, you name it. So if you have questions, either in this post, you can go ahead and drop a comment. In the video that you're watching, if it's on YouTube, you can always put a comment in there, reach out to me, direct message or email, but ask those questions. And then in the VIP group, make sure you utilize that search function too. If you are looking for more information on setting powders, illuminators, different lip and cheek, placement of contour, always utilize that search function because there's so much information at your hands that's gonna help you along this journey, as well as myself, okay? So I hope that helped. I'm so excited to have you be a part of this community and be starting on your Saint journey. So welcome, and I really hope you fall in love with this makeup just like I have and so many other customers within this group. So make it a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.